Okay. Just give me a moment as I put up the screen and make sure that I'm live as well. All right, darling ones. Okay, just hair. It's looking a bit weird. Okay, my loves. All right. So I'm going to make sure that I am live. So just give me a moment as I navigate my way through, double checking that I can see myself. If you can see me, say hello. I can see myself as well. All right, that's perfect. Okay. All right, darling ones. Okay, my loves. Okay, so today I'm gonna just press live. Hello, beautiful ones. So if you're watching live, just say hello. And if you're watching on the replay, you know what to do. Say hello, I'm on replay. And I'm just here to welcome everyone, no matter when you're watching this. Welcome, welcome, welcome. If this is your first time, my name is Li Ying. I'm a divine energy alchemist, founder of When Still Waters Speak. I'm also a ceremonial keeper of the Way of Tea and also a sacred transformation mentor. Actually, all of them are rolled into one. They are all relevant. They all work together beautiful for me. For me to serve creative feminine leaders like you so that you can live on purpose in your authentic power. So who's with me today? Say hello. I would love to say hello back to you if you're watching live or on the replay. As always, it's a conversation. So if you're here and you want to chat with me, if you have any questions, feel free to just pop them into the comment section. I will be happy to answer any of your questions. So today I'm going to be talking about Zen and Tea, and particularly that Zen and Tea are one flavor. And it's really beautiful in that sense because it is one of my favorite subjects, and it's something that goes way deep, that really allows me to talk a little bit more about why so much of what we know consciously and intellectually doesn't quite land for us. And it's another word, embodiment, right? We want to exude that energy. We want to be abundance. We want to be freedom. We want to be able to execute our unstoppable vision with true magnetic power and authentic power. But sometimes we tend to self-sabotage. Sometimes we tend to let those expectations around us hold us back. Sometimes we feel like a kind of shame coming through when we need to ask for help, and so on and so forth. So if you have that coming up for you, just comment, share. This is a safe and non-judgmental space. As always, I hold you in this space, and I want to be able to support you and really, really be of the highest service to you. So if you're able to share, let's do it, okay? Oh my goodness, beautiful. Oh, Amina. Love from Edinburgh as well. Sending back to you to Australia. You're falling into dreamland. Okay, listen to me until you fall into dreamland. I would love to. I think today's subject would be a powerful one for you to walk into dreamland, because I'm going to talk a little bit about Zen. And Zen and Tea in this context is something I really want to share in a way that Zen is not about a religion. And it is not an ordinary religion. And in fact, I would say it's not an organized religion in a way, although there are different sects of Zen Buddhism. But the Zen that I'm talking about today is really going to pull us all the way back into a time before time, when Zen was known as Chan. In China, it's a Chinese word, Chan. And it really just means meditation. And it comes from the Sanskrit word dhyana. And to be honest, the literal translation of that is being to. It doesn't make quite much sense, but it really is. It's being. It's a sense of being. It's a sense of being meditation. It's a sense of is meditation, right? And what that really, really is that it has no dogma, no doctrine. And in a way, it ties back. It's always had this very symbiotic relationship with tea. Firstly, physically, as some of you, if you followed me, you probably know this, is that tea that we are talking about, they are all from beautiful spiritual ancestral lands that we are talking about. Just imagine for a moment here, drop into your hearts and see these beautiful ancient trees that have been on this earth way before perhaps even the first human footstep has landed on earth. And we're talking about a time when humans started, in fact, Aboriginal shamans started to carry tea leaves in their medicinal pouches. They were used for healing and meditation. It's a holistic reconnection of the mind, body, spirit. It's for that function. And then moving forward, once they saw what's happening and they witnessed this, the Daoist mystics, the Eastern mystics, they themselves also started to pick up these tea leaves and use that for their own creative flow, to channel through their own sage-like art form, the art, the paintings, the poetry, all of those things. They were never separate from a tea practice. And picking up from that are the Zen monks. They witnessed, wow, there's something interesting here, that the transmission that's coming from that plant is really bringing these Taoist mystics to a whole other level. And so they started to pick up these plants, these seeds, and the Zen monks, who were actually from Japan, carried these seeds back home to Japan and thus established a vibrant tea practice in their own ceremony and their own rituals as a part of the non-verbal transmissions that they have between master and disciple. And when I say non-verbal, I really mean non-verbal. That's why there are no doctrines, no dogma. And the same thing happens when you are in a tea ceremony. And I'm so honored to be able to continue to carry on this lineage, to be in service in such a big way, to share the power of tea ceremony for us as modern mystics, and really allow you to sense for yourself how this can really help you to elevate your consciousness and also release you from all the subconscious beliefs that are holding you back from awakening you further into your soul purpose. Now, I talk a lot about living on purpose in your authentic power. A lot of times I really want to share that what that really means is that we are always continuously unfolding into our purpose. What really we're talking about when we talk about law of attraction is more about law of creation. We are creating all the time, never not. We are always creating our reality every second of the time that we're here on earth, living and breathing. And so if we can be Zen, if we can be this spirit of tea where it's completely so deeply steeped in equanimity, so deeply steeped in this non-attachment to the outcomes and deeply knowing that we are who we are, we can create so much more, because now we know that we are steeped in limitless potential. We're steeped in a place where we're like those sages cloud walking. And I want you to really feel how that feels like in your body in this moment when I describe that. And I want you to know that it's not about moving to a temple on the mountains, although there are temples in the mountain. You can find lots and lots of Buddhist temples that has been around for centuries in the mountains, because the monks really practiced with tea. And when I say tea, it really is not just the spirit, but also the practice of planting tea seeds, harvesting, roasting, preparing tea, tea ceremony. All of those things are part of their practice to achieve enlightenment. So, my love, because we are not in a temple, how are we going to embody the spirit of Zen and Tea, right? That comes down to really coming back to a cultivation of what we can do as modern mystics and creative feminine leaders today. If you want to do things differently, and I don't know what's happening with my fringe, I'm just gonna pull this up a little bit because I'm like, I can't see my eyes. if you want to live in a very vastly different way where you no longer are chasing and always trying harder and harder and burning yourself out and trying to be something that you're not and just following someone else's strategy and saying, yes, I've done this much, I've achieved some sort of success to this point, but then it still feels really tiring and exhausting. Well, my love, you would want to listen to this. Yes, absolutely, it is for you, because we're going to talk about the power of really non-doing. And when we talk about non-doing or non-action, which is also known as Wu Wei, it always ties back to that sensation, that whole idea of Zen. Because Zen began when Buddha, the great Buddha himself, it's a time before time. Let's just go back there again. We're going to go back time before time today a lot today. But it really is a time when Buddha was supposed to host a sermon on the Vulture Peak, which is where he's seated. But he did not say a word. He merely raised a single blossom and held it up in silence. And one of his many disciples, Mahakashyapa, just nodded, and he understood, and thus was declared enlightened. And that is the spirit of Zen. There are no words to describe that sort of knowing inside. And it is beautiful to witness when a woman walks into that power on her own. And no, you don't have to be a bodhisattva, you don't have to be a Zen disciple to have that. Because in the bowl of tea that you will hold in your hand in a tea ceremony is going to be that transmission that you need. And that is why every time I hold space in a tea ceremony, I would always tell my guests and my clients that I don't want to taint your experience. I want you to just drop in and drink the tea and see what she's got to say to you, because it's different for every person. I've had clients who were able to finally hear their intuition and start to really carve out their niche and start a business. I've had clients who were able to tap into deeper childhood traumas. I've had clients who were able to connect with their past, their dearly beloved ones who were past, who have passed on to the other realm. So many things can happen in a tea ceremony, and it seems so simple on the surface. But what we're doing here is that we are walking home. We are walking home back to form a relationship with our own body. And Zen is an embodiment. It's not something that you read a lot of books and then you get it. It transcends the logical mind. And that is why if you have any, if you have dabbled in Zen, or perhaps you are really into Zen itself, you would have read many stories that seem like an open-ended story, or that the teaching is an open-ended teaching. That is because the idea of Zen has always been about emptying yourself of what you already know, your preconceived notions, and start to really drop into a space where you unattach slowly from what you already know and begin to open up to what we call the beginner's mind. And I want to share this with you because it is one of the core teachings in the Siren Goddess, which is a 90-day immersion that I have designed. It's a lush, transformative space where I take all my beautiful creative feminine leader clients to really awaken their own purpose and release themselves from the restricted beliefs that are holding them back from creating the impact that they truly want to create in the world, and really receive the abundance and live on purpose in a big way, because now they are the vortex of stillness that they desire to be. It's not that they live in it, they actually are the vortex of stillness. So it's incredibly powerful. So going back to the beginner's mind, it is so crucial. It's the core of my teachings. Why? Because when you have a beginner's mind, you're actually open. You're not trying to control every single thing in life. And I think that goes really deeply into the way we've been taught and conditioned and programmed to be. We want to control every single thing, and really, when things don't go as planned, we see it as a great failure. We see it as something that is hindering us, and we play smaller and smaller because we think that that is something that's not meant to be. But what a beginner's mind really allows you to do is that you really come into every situation non-judgmentally, firstly, of yourself, but also non-judgmentally of the situation and the people and the circumstances surrounding that. That will allow you to really live on purpose no matter what circumstance you find yourself in. You don't change your sacred container. You don't change it depending on where you are and who you're with. You are exactly who you are, no matter who you're with and where you are. And that is deeply freeing. It is so freeing, incredibly freeing for me, coming from a space where I used to be a chronic people pleaser and always trying to please everyone and make sure there are no conflicts and no argument or whatever, just making sure everyone's happy. And so at the expense of my own identity, like, who am I don't even know, right? And it was pure suffering, because I was not showing up and people didn't know what I was, and they were just constantly not respectful of me, right? But now I can see that I am the creator of my life. And when I come in with a beginner's mind, I can begin to tune into my intuition, myself as the stillness, the vortex of stillness, how I want to go ahead and take the aligned actions that will give me the best results and the best outcome, no matter what, right? No matter what, okay? No matter what the situation is, no matter what the circumstance is, right? So really knowing this, right? Knowing that the Zen monks are the ones who brought the seeds from China back to Japan, and they started to really make this a huge thing that they call Chana Yu. Now, the ones that we were talking about shamans and the Daoist mystics, that is what we call Cha Dao, and that is the lineage that I practice in. Cha no Yu is really much more related to a Japanese form of tea ceremony, which has a subtle influence on my lineage, but not so much. But I absolutely really love the idea of having that Zen influence in the tea ceremony that I hold space with, because it's allowed me to really bring my clients into a space where they really can feel the vibration of love, the vibration of purity and reverence and harmony with nature. Because tea spirit has a way of really bringing you into a space where you are feeling so gently guided, that you feel so powerful, that you start to face the difficult decisions that you need to make. And suddenly when you come out of the ceremony, you know exactly what you need to do, and you have the courage to go forth and do it. And I honestly say this with words, and I want you to really experience it for yourself. Don't take my word for it. If you want to experience it, absolutely comment. Let me know if you want me to do something tiny or a sneak peek for you. In fact, I want to just share with you a little news. I'm actually going to run a VIP day, a 1-day event, or maybe 2 days, I'm not sure yet, but it's going to be a VIP event where you get to experience this and get firsthand an experience of working with me. I know that to go into a 90-day immersion sometimes feels really overwhelming, so I understand that. So I want to make this happen for all of you who have been sitting on the fence. So if you want to hear more of that, just say yes and let me know. I would love to share that very soon in this tiny vortex that we're in. But having said all that, oh my God, Karen, you're here. Hello. That I don't feel so lonely now speaking. I know Amina is probably still here, both from Australia, by the way. So beautiful. Oh, it's so late already as well. I just feel so deeply honored and grateful. So yes, my love. So if you want to work with me and you want to finally be able to release all the restrictive beliefs that are holding you back, and want to really live in a big way in your own vortex of stillness, and actually embody that stillness and become so magnetic in a powerful, energetic way, Oh my goodness, come on. Book that call, book that sacred transformation call with me, and let's see how we can get you there, okay? I really want you to know this. You don't have to ever feel like you need to go to a temple or a retreat to finally change your life. One thing that really completely allowed me to transform is that I know that I need that support. I know that that support comes to me in my daily life. And this beautiful practice that I'm just sharing with you today is just one aspect of the immersion that I run. The whole immersion is really about ancient remembrance. It's about allowing you to come home to who you really are by working with your mind and your body and your spirit. And your soul always answers to the call of the mountain. Your soul always knows. Your soul always answers to the plants because your soul is nature. You are nature. And we all need to stop separating ourselves from these situations and these circumstances where we think that we can only achieve in a retreat or an ashram. We can absolutely be the living and breathing Zen. We can be living, breathing tea spirit. Because once you start to embrace tea in that way, you are absolutely tea. Tea becomes you and you become tea. It's flowing in your bloodstream. You are living and breathing and you're allowing that chi to move through you. And what is significantly tea spirit? Tranquility, harmony, deep reverence, and ancient wisdom of Mother Earth and the cosmos, by the way, because every leaf carries within it the raindrops, the snowdrops, the snowy mountain streams, the minerals, the sunlight, the moonlight, and the starlight. How immense is this amazing leaf? I'm just blown away every single time I sit with her because she opens up so many portals in me to another dimension. And it clears away all the things that I need to clear away from myself. And what I really find is so potent, and I saw this myself with every client I work with, and also the women's circles last weekend, is that it gives them the courage to look at those dark things that they didn't want to look at. It gives the energy an opportunity to move in your body, because ultimately if energy or emotion is not moving in you and you're sidestepping your emotions, you're burying it, then it will continue to just grow bigger and bigger as a dissonance. And that is what you call the subconscious restrictive beliefs, because that is what is causing the self-sabotage, right? It is all very magical, but I'm trying to break it down into like human words. Let's just put it that way, because I want you to really get that this works in the ordinary life as well as your extraordinary other realm, multidimensional realms. Everything is connected. Karen, yes, it is amazing. It sounds amazing. It is amazing. I just feel like I can never do it justice in a way when I speak about it, because so much of that goes on behind closed doors. But I want you to know that this is something so precious, and I haven't seen this done in a way that allows women to come back to their body, to allow them to meet their own goddess self. Because all of us we are all goddesses. And I was in a conversation with one of my friends, and I said to her, the day I said that I am a goddess, I also want to say that I am a witch too. And it's important because every aspect of us as a woman, there is an aspect of a goddess and there is an aspect of a dark goddess or the witch, right? So we want to embrace all parts of us, because once we do that, we are absolutely fully aligned with our authentic power. That is how we become so invincible and unfuckwithable, because we are fully bringing our presence to everywhere we go. And so let's talk about, like if we want to talk about Zen, if we want to talk about bringing that Zen moment into our lives, and every one of us want that, right? We want that inner peace. We want to know the deep knowing of who we really are. That is Zen. Zen is everywhere. Zen is in the bowl of tea. Zen is in this microphone that I'm talking to. Zen is in this glass of water that I have here with the crystal in it. Nature is Zen. Tea is Zen. You are Zen, right? So until you actually go and experience those things that feel really scary for you, you won't be able to embody that which you desire, because that is always going to hold you back. And it's the same way with Zen. There's this beautiful story that says there was this man, this professor, who came and asked a Zen monk, how do I become Zen? How do I become Zen? Like, how can I be like you? How can I become Zen? And the Zen monk said, this is what you do. Chop wood, gather charcoal, boil water, and make tea. And the professor was like, what? That's it? And the Zen monk said, yep, that's it. If you can do that every single day, then you have become Zen. And I just love that story so much, because so many Zen stories like that, because most of the time people will be like, okay, what's the point? Or you'll be like, oh, that's so beautiful. And I think most of you would actually feel that vibration. Like, you would actually feel that it's so beautiful, because that is what life is. That is what really, if you want to be Zen, if you want to be peaceful, if you want to be magnetic, you want to be multidimensional, whatever it is, if you can master chopping wood, gathering charcoal, boiling water, and making tea, and actually appreciate the act of being human. You're not a human being, you're being human, by the way. You're a cosmic being. Let's all remember that. We're all multidimensional. But you chose to be here today. You chose to be in here, on this earth. And so how can you be the best human that you can? And that is it. Seeing the extraordinary in the ordinary. And Karen, I know you will love that too. It's so Yoda about it, by the way, isn't it? It's like, tea, drink. But it's so beautiful in that way, because I want you all to know it's not a quick fix. There is no quick fix scheme to living a life of full alignment with freedom and unstoppable vision. If you ask any of those people who have done it or seem like they have done it, they had to go through like almost like a hell on fire kind of thing, where they had to move through so many things and burn through so much before they can arrive at that place. And even when they have seemed to have arrived, they would keep letting go and burning through and shedding whatever that needed to be shed, and keep evolving into their next version. And that is exactly how I live my life now as well. It's like, I can't tell you that I have arrived, because I haven't. I really haven't. I can't tell you that, because if I have arrived, that means I'll be dead. That is the truth. And even when I'm dead, my soul evolves. My soul moves on to the next. And it's so beautiful in that way, because I think it brings us back down to earth a little bit here, and really asks, what is it that we want to create today in our lives? Just today. What is not okay anymore to be in my life today? And then really say, I am the creatrix of my life, and I don't need to create this anymore. How would I create instead? And always, always know this, you are not alone. You absolutely are not alone. And you can have that support. And you can have that beautiful, beautiful, divine, sacred sisterhood or friendship. I have found someone like Karen, who is so deeply, deeply loving. And I would not have found her if I didn't really take the leap to head on over to a mentorship that we both were in. And I want you to know that it's that sense of, being our true self doesn't mean that we need to be isolated. Being our true self doesn't mean that we need to be alone. In fact, you will find so many beautiful mystics who are exactly on the same path as you in this beautiful vortex. And it is absolutely beautiful because you'll never look back. You'll be like, what? Life is so amazing. It's so amazing to just live in the deep knowing that you are Zen. You are the tea trees. You are the mountains. You are the river. So my hope is that today you were able to empty that cup, empty it all onto the ground, and start to receive what I'm here to say to you. And I know that my work is powerful. That's why I never stop doing what I'm doing, even though lots of people around me said, what the fuck are you doing? Like, they're like, I don't know, is this gonna bring you money? Is this gonna, hell yeah. I was able to prove that. But is that the point of what I'm doing? No. I'm doing this because I want you, women like you, to know that sense of deep inner peace and vortex of stillness where you can take aligned actions to truly execute your vision, that is your birthright. It's not something that's out there. It's right here, right now for you to grab. So do you want to collapse time? Let's collapse time, get you there. Instantly, stat, right now. And that is a decision you need to make. That is the decision you need to make. I know a lot of you are sitting on the fence and you're wondering, like, how is it going to be like to work with me? I've really shared quite a lot today. I hope that it gave you some kind of idea of how that would look like. And yes, it will be a 4-figure investment to work with me, but there will be payment plans to help you along if you need that assistance. And I want you to know that each and every one of those people who work with me truly have been such a blessing. And I have learned so much myself and seen so many beautiful transformations myself. One thing I would say for sure, it's not going to bring you back to the old self. It's a complete alchemical transformation. And it's going to be fucking beautiful. Okay? So, Divine One, if you are up for it, book in a sacred transformation call with me. And yes, I will put up more information about my VIP event very soon. So keep an eye out. Thank you, Karen. I love you so much as well. And thank you to everyone who is here with me. If you want to watch the replay, it's in the Siren Goddess Collective. Otherwise, blessings, Divine Ones. And I will see you very soon. Bye.